This week on Saddle Soap, we visit Meg Upchurch at home and see how she and Wes have been progressing with Gil's training. At the same time, we'll see the actual teaching that have helped them come so far together.
Let's go ahead, find yourself in the center here. We're going to lunge down at this end of the arena today. And just go ahead and do your normal lunging program with him. People might remember that Wes has a habit that a lot of horses pick up in the lunging. When they start to carry the weight in their hind end and they're starting to work, sometimes they'll stop and try to turn the other direction or just try to get out of the work by stopping. So I ask Meg when she starts the lunging to stay with him, to walk a little bit, whereas normally we stand on the spot and send the horse out to the end of the line and have them track around us. Just to give Meg a little more driving power, I have her walk on a small circle with the horse on a bigger circle, and that keeps her close enough that she can control him a little better. It doesn't mean he doesn't sometimes get away with it, but it gives us a lot more control with the lunge whip and with the aids.
I've had Wes for about 1.5 years. I found him on the internet actually at dreamhorse.com. When I tried him, he just seemed like a good match for me. It was one of those things where just immediately when I got on him, it felt as though I could be comfortable in terms of his size and disposition. I took him on trial for a week and actually needed less than a week before I told his owners that I wanted to buy him. And right from the start of his training, we have used lunging to help strengthen his back musculature and prepare him for the mounted work.
And our riding arena is wider than the kind of circle we'd normally want to work on, so the first order of business is just figure out where you want the horse to track. And so with Meg walking along with the horse, he's on a large circle. It's pretty close to 20 meters. That's it. And Meg, ask him to move on just a bit more.
What I've found is that using the lunging helps to establish his rhythm before I ride, and it gets him ready to start working in self-carriage, which is where we are now in the ridden work. It's trying to establish his ability to go around without me doing much of anything.
A little bit more tempo, just a notch, that's it.
One thing I've been able to do is show some friends of mine how to use the lunge work to improve their horses. And they've seen how much more rhythm and softness their horses get just by doing these kinds of exercises. Even though I like very much to work with young horses and bring them along, I also realize I'm not an expert and I wanted the advice of somebody who could make the training productive and pleasant for me and for Wes. I contacted a friend of mine who had taught me previously, and she recommended Gil, and he sent me his training philosophy, and it sounded wonderful. It sounded exactly in line with what I wanted to do, with its emphasis on building the horse's confidence and not asking them to do more than they can do, but building their abilities in a really systematic fashion. And one of the things that I see a lot with riding that I don't like is constant pulling on the horse's head. So I was determined with Wes that I really wanted to develop him properly with the hind end and the back developing musculature and him just naturally creating self-carriage. Gil's philosophy is perfect with that. Gil is a very low-key instructor, so I think what he does is focus on a few things at a time. He doesn't overwhelm you with information, and that allows you to progress in a systematic fashion. Right from the beginning, we worked on lunging and combining that with the riding, and also from the beginning, he gave me a set of exercises that I could do, and we built on those exercises so that things have come along in a really logical fashion. And I have actually shown Wes in dressage and the walk trot tests, and every single time he goes into a show, he gets higher and higher scores. The things that the fancy horses do, basically.
A long rein and a big pat. Good. You can bring him into the center and dismount. I think given the amount of work that he's been having, that's a good amount of work. He had a little canter on the lunge, and We got him to do a little lateral work that he hadn't done before, so I think that's a good amount of work for him. Nice job, Wes.
I really just want a pleasure horse that I can have to take out to ride in a park, or go hiking with friends, or put in a cart, or jump, or anything. We're coming along very well, and yeah, I think we can go quite far.